What's up, YouTube? This your boy Bigboyfactsjonny TV, and tonight I'll go over my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications when I premiere a brand new video on YouTube at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. Now let's get started. Now, AEW Dynamite was a good show. That's all I gotta say. It was a good show. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. Dynamite comes to you live from Indianapolis as commentary welcomes us to the show. We kick off the show with John Moxley. Wild Things. Okay. Wild Things. John Moxley makes his way through the crowd as a pure usual and swaggers his way to the ring, stopping to have a sip of water. He has a mic and the crowd chants Moxley, Moxley. I grew up about 90 miles from here. I used to wrestle here all the time. This has been a crazy ride. You never know what's around the corner. There are three certain certainties: Death, Texas, and John Moxley. There is nobody that can outwalk me, out wrestle me, out bleed me, or outswing me. Today's nothing changed since day one in AEW. I am the top of the food chain. I do I do and say what I want. This ring belongs to me, and your you bet your you know what, there is no man in this building or 100 miles that has the balls to look me in the eyes and tell me different. So Hangman Page music hits. The cowboy is back. He struts down to the ring as they say he hasn't been clear yet. He goes nose to nose immediately with John Moxley, and John Moxley says, "You sure you want to do this after last time?" I'm sorry, do you not remember? Hangman slugs him. They brawl around ringside and security and referee tries to break them up. John Moxley breaks through and leaps at Hangman as they tussling and security eventually drag them away. John Moxley talks trash to Page and comes back by starting to swinging again. There's at least a dozens of people trying to help out, and John Moxley taunts him on the apron. John Moxley breaks free and trips and falls off the stage, but gets back up, and they still try a brawl. They finally get them through the tunnels. Um, like I said, every time AEW come on, there's always a brawl. It never fails. All right, let's move on. Commentary talks about third match and best of seven, elite and depth triangle, as well as hearing from MJF. Singles match: Dax Harwood versus Brian Danielson. This was a good match. One half of the top guys makes his way out to the ring after a hug from Cash and slaps hands with the fans as FTR are coming off a win with Ricky Steamboat a few days ago. Brian Danielson is out to a very nice ovation as these two are going to have really fun singles bout. The crowd applauds both men as they squares off and lock up. Crowd immediately this is awesome chant. Brian and Dax exchange chain wrestling holds and Dax ducks a roundhouse kick. This is the first time they ever fought as Dax avoids a libel lock and Brian avoids a sharpshooter in the early going as Brian boots Dax in the face and Dax just stomps Brian. Brian powers out to catch his breath and slowly gets back in. Aggressive lock up as Brian and Dax straight chops and uppercuts as Brian whips into the corner and flips out. Dax with a roll up for two, then a crossbody for another. Brian sends Dax over the rope and Brian flies and takes Dax out into the fans. Dax and Brian slug at each other as we go to commercial. We're back from commercial. Dax hits Brian with multiple German suplexes, and he heads up top. He thinks twice and gets back in. she tries another German, but a bunch of reversals, and Brian avoids a pile driver. Dax avoids another roundhouse, and Dax spikes him with a pile driver. 1-2 no. Brian gets the shoulders up. Dax heads up top again and miss a stalling headbutt, and Brian rolls him up for a close 2 count. Dax sends out and Brian with a flying knee off the apron. Brian chops the you know what out of Dax as both men's chests are beat red. Brian heads to the top and Dax catches him down and tries to superplex, but Brian fights out and sends Dax hard into the turnbuckle. He starts elbowing Dax on the top rope as the crowd counts along and then hits a back body drop. But Dax rolls through and Brian rolls through that 1-2 no. Both men down as the referee starts counting as Dax headbutts Brian and Brian re, re, recuperates um re, recuperates. What's that? Recuperates. Recuperates. Anyway, they just on headbutt each other on their knees and then gets up. And Brian absorbs 2 layers and Dax absorbs his own. They start clotheslining each other as both men are worn down, but Dax kills Brian, and Brian jumps up and hits 1-2. Both men collapse as the crowd goes nuts. Dax catches Brian's kick, and Danielson reverses a slingshot powerbomb into a roll up for 2. He hits a sick kick to the head, and Dax kicks out at 2. Brian hits the yes kick on Dax, and Brian flips out of a German. Dax catches the flying knee and hits a slingshot bomb 1-2 no. Dax immediately hits the sharpshooter, and Brian tries to elevate the pressure, and Brian grabs the ropes. Dax tries to, yeah, tries again, but Brian and Dax exchange a series of inside cradles for a lot of 2 counts. Brian transitions into the libel lock. Dax struggles to get to the ropes, but he has no choice but to tap. The winner of the match, Brian Danielson. This was a good match. Post match, Brian Danielson celebrates and tells the audience to give props to Dax and extends his hand in a sign of respect. Dax fakes leaving and gives Brian a handshake and a hug. Brian celebrates as we go to Tony in the back with Ricky Starks. Ricky Ricky Starks says, "I would like to announce I am entering the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal and make a judgment call, which is I am going to win because I am coming for everything. MJF coming for coming from coming for everything. MJF's. I am coming for your title, your ring, and your spot. I am absolute for a reason, and that winter is coming. I will prove it." So we go to commercial break. We see Adam Page and John Moxley fighting backstage as they beat security off. Then Page drives Moxley into the garage door as security and refs run in to break it up. Again, no matter what, the two can't stop brawling. They throwing both men out of the building as Renee is with the Jericho Appreciation Society and BCC. It's 2.0 slash Garcia slash Hager as well as Claudio and Wheeler Yuta. Daddy Magic says you can be anything as a sports entertainer. Renee yells at him to shut up and ask Claudio what it means to get the title. He says it's his first title and I have to prove I can win the big one. Hager loves the hat and they agree. Claudio screams about he is sick of everything and walks off. Jericho appreciates society, mocks the BCC, and offer a match. Wheeler says he's done with people and challenges Garcia at the final battle for the ROH Pure Championship. It's also be it's also be Claudio and Wheeler versus Hager and Garcia. All right, let's move on. So we get the TNT Championship match: AR Fox versus Samoa Joe. Decent match. AR is out to a nice reception as is the first match since signing. Samoa Joe is out next as the crowd is definitely pro Joe. He walks down with both titles on each shoulder looking like a killer. He smugly raised them as this match is underway. Samoa Joe corners AR Fox and brings him to the corner and starts jabbing away at Fox. Then a couple stones for good measure. Fox with some shots, but Samoa Joe cuts him off, and Fox avoids a lariat with a kip up and takes out Joe. Fox dives over and rolls through as Samoa Joe walks away, and he pump kicks Joe. Fox with a shot as Joe sweeps the legs and senton Fox as we go to commercial. Back from the break, Samoa Joe with a sidewalk slam for a 2 count as Joe taunts him and tries for a muscle buster, but Fox fights off. Fox comes off the top with a tornado DT. Samoa Joe is rocked and AR Fox with a bunch of kicks and a short cutter. Then heads up top with a 450 splash. 1-2 no. Samoa Joe kicks out as Fox fires up and goes up top again. Samoa Joe walks away to avoid a flip and pounce him into the rope. Samoa Joe sends him up top in Muscle Buster. 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match, Samoa Joe. This was a decent match. Post match, Samoa Joe grabs a mic and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to a new and glorious era, for I am the one true king of television." Warlow interrupts and says, "I hope you enjoy playing a role because I am coming for what's mine. It's not your world, it's Warlow's." The crowd chants Warlow as Samoa Joe looks pissed. We see Powerhouse Hobbs video showcasing him walk through Oakland and how he was beaten up, bullied, and how he is going to let everyone feel the pain and hurt that he felt. "I'm taking what belongs to me." We see a Hook slash Lee momentarily highlight video as Taz explains how Hook defeated Lee. So we go to commercial break. William Regal is seen walking down to the ring conveniently as Moxley has been removed from the building. He has a mic as the crowd boos. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, your new AEW World Champion, MJF." MJF addresses the crowd. This was a good promo by MJF. MJF's music hits as the new AEW World Championship. MJF music hits as the new AEW World Champion struts down to the ring with a mic and gets into the ring and hugs William Regal. "I know you people aren't bright, but when the best wrestler is holding a mic, you keep your hillbilly mouth shut. I will tell you how as MJF stops the crowd. Chant STFU. Regal sent me an email, Maxwell. I watched on as the film attack you. It's clear you're weak, but it see potential for you to be the greatest villain of our time. Of our time, you have much to learn, and I will teach you. But this time, instead of grabbing the diamond ring, grab the brass one." Sincerely, William Regal. "We met many times, and this man is a genius. I was, I was too. I was a, I was AFP to listen when he said use the knuckles because he wanted me to leave Moxley with the lesson so he would never forget the day he was outsmarted by MJF. He talked about the film and says, I kind of respect the firm. I'm sorry, they saw weakness in attacks. I thought that I would have done the same, even if I did harbor resentments. Do I am do I seem do I seem like the kind of person to chase? Effort is for poor people, and I am above that. I am above this belt. When I become champion, I made a promise to make change out with the old and with the new. When I see the title, I wanna gag because it desperately it desperately need an upgrade. It's tacky, classy, and reminds me of the other man who held it. He mocks them but says none are on his level. He takes the title off and chucks it away. William Regal removes the tarp from a stand, and MJF has a Burberry painted leather belt. It looks gaudy for sure. MJF calls it new and improved, the Triple B, the most important title in this entire sports because I am the man holding it. No one deserves to be recognized as world champion except for me. No overhyped trash fake tough guys and calls Ricky a fake star and says Danielson is a fake wrestler. In comparison, and Brian Danielson couldn't wrestle his way out of a bag against me. MJF mocks the crowd and says he's a message as here's a message as long as I am here. You never know what it's like on top. I am champion for a long time until the Baton War of 2024 and get the biggest contract in history and make more in a day than you will in a lifetime. I pray the right con foots the bill and I ain't talking Tony, but SC Nick and Trips. He he says he doesn't even know if anyone will win the bid because he doesn't want to look at the fans, but maybe Hollywood wins. He says he thanks for the support, but your happiness will turn to recent resentment because you're fickle. You're complaining. You know what? Great guess who will turn in every week. You, Triple B, will be defending rarely, and I will wrestle rarely because I am a special attraction in order to see me defend it. You have to buy a pay per view and host to see me lose, but they won't. He compares his reign and says, "I'll be I'll be bigger than Jarrett, Bruno, and everyone. My reign of terror has just begun." MJF goes to hand William Regal the brass knuckle and says, "They may boo you, but they respect you." He slugs Regal with the knucks. Regal is out cold. Um, MJF stands over Regal, who has had several neck injuries. He says you made a deal with the devil. Let me leave you with words like you did. The game has changed. MJF hires top talent and world class athletics when you're ready. Send me your stuff. You're truly MJF. MJF gets out and walks off through the crowd. Danielson comes out with the doctor to check on him as they wave him EMTs and a stretcher. William Regal hasn't moved since. Danielson is trying to talk to him as commentary. It's done. Brian Danielson screams to go faster as Taz is even shaking. This gets a neck brace on Regal and gets him on a gurney as we go to commercial. This was a good promo by MJF. And MJF is going to hold the AEW World Championship until 2024. I guarantee you. Mark my words. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, we see a replay of what happened with MJF and Regal. And Regal is shown being loaded into an ambulance as Brian looks very concerned. Brian heads to the hospital with him as they end up leaving, and Tony calls it a black eye on AEW. Ricky starts music hits and he makes his way out to a big pop, and he's still taped up from the multiple attacks in recent weeks. So we get singles match: Ricky Starks versus Aria Davari. This was a solid. This match was a solid match. The firm the front come out with Matt Hardy, who yells delete, and Stokely and Page send him to the back and they mock him. Page says you're going to help me win the whole you know what thing. Calling my shot after MJF's whips your you know what. Matt flips off Page and Page says you're going to watch and cry. Davari sneaks attacks Ricky Starks as Ricky Starks hits a spear immediately and then hits a Rochambeau 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match, Ricky Starks. This was a solid match. Alright, so we go to post match. Ricky Starks and Paige stare down as commentary hype up. Winter is coming. Tony is in the back with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Britt Baker talks about their tag win and the Steelers. They talk about a Saraya sit down, and Jamie Hayter offers Tony to have one with her, and that sets up for next week. So the epitome of sports entertainers. Okay, so singles match. Should we get Anna Jay versus Willa Night 90 Nightingale? This was this match was you know solid for what it was. Solid. Anna Anna and Tay make their way to the ring, followed by Willow, who gets a crazy big pop. The crowd loves the positive from this young woman. Both ladies square off, and Anna ducks a lockup and taunts, but Willow uses her strength to take out Anna. Multiple shoulder blocks by Willow, and a series of short arms clothesline, and a big back body drop. Crossbody by Willow for a 2 count. She hits she hits a hip attack on Anna but missed a haymaker, and Anna capitalized with a body kick. Anna Jay with a blockbuster 1-2 no commercial break. Back from the break, Willow and Anna Jay are firing elbow shots at each other, and Willow gets the advantage. Yokozuna kick by Willow, follow with a spine buster 1-2 no. Anna Jay able to kick out. Willow sets up for a DVD, but Anna Jay blocks it and hits a gory bomb on Willow 1-2 no. Wow. Willow breaks out of the sleeper. Willow with a gut wrench, but Tay distracts her. Anna Jay rolls through for a 2 count. Willow with a disgust slayer and has Anna Jay in the gut wrench again. Dr. Bomb 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match, Willow Nightingale. This was a solid match. Willow celebrates her win as Tay checks on Anna Jay in the ring. Willow high fives the fans as Ruby Soho music hits. She appears in the ring and Tay turns around. Ruby takes her down and mountain punches. Takes out Anna J too, and Ruby chases Tay up the ramp and hits a nasty headbutt. She hits destination unknown on the ramp. Taz sings along with the theme song as she walks up the ramp, all smiles. Alright, we see a highlight video of the return of House of Black taking out best friends, and the factory. QT Marshall and Orange Cassidy are in the back with Tony. QT says, "I want a shot at the AAAC title." Orange Cassidy says, "No problem." QT says, "It's a lumberjack match," and those Orange Cassidy says, "Cool, okay," and walks away. So Jade Cargill TBS Championship celebration. Um, Jay and the baddies make their way to the ring with a mic. Jay is dressed in a gorgeous white outfit, and the baddies are in pink, looking a bit irritated to be with Jay. Um, we all know why you're here. For me and my big you know what celebration. Jay says I made the baddies. I said who stays and goes. I took out the trash last week. She asks the baddies why they hug out with Kira Hogan, and she mocks them. Standing next to me is a blessing, and if you two want to step up or step off, I'm the brightest star backstage. Nobody has my body, my face, and my aura. I put I put you know what in seats and wrestle for a bad you know what now. Ca- Cameraman, do my job and get my baddies. I am nothing but real. I create careers. She mocks Bow Wow and it cuts to a video of him. He says congratulates her on winning and says he has a lot of time on his hands and that he's got a lot planned in the future. So watch out. So commercial break. We see a Rampage promo with an All Atlantic title match with Orange Cassidy versus QT Marshall, as well as Renee sit down with Soraya. The Acclaim are backstage with Billy Gum playing drill sergeant. Sergeant and Anthony Bond says he is giving the best tag team a shot for the titles. Daddy, you know what, agrees and says, I guess what we need to do is now this. Sisters. They they are sisters and will have a red page segment. Alright, so we get the main event of the evening. So we get the best out of seven trios tag team title match. The Elite versus Death Triangle. Alright, this main event was amazing. This was amazing. This was an amazing match right here. I enjoyed this. The way where Sun make their way out to the rim to a big ovation. They dance and jog to the ring and do the elite pose. Death Triangle out next with the sickest trios interest in the business, and the elite meet them on the realm. Everyone starts slugging as the Young Bucks take out Penta, and then a big hurricanrana on Ray Phoenix. Kenny Omega with a nasty bulldog on the round Tupac. Kenny Omega land hard on his hip as the Young Bucks drag Pac down the ramp. This match has not yet officially started. Kenny Omega is up and Pac counters the V trigger with a thirst kick, and the Lucha Bros fly in to take out the Young Bucks as we go to commercial. Back from commercial break, they are all still brawling on the outside as the elite look for the ten tendon pile drivers, but the referee stops them and officially rings the bell. They hit apron bomb on Pac and Ray Phoenix, and Kenny Omega to Penta but he blocks and takes out all three. He fires up, and Matt Jackson take out Rick Knox. Alex press the hammer to Penta, and Penta goes flying, taking out the elite. Penta has Kenny Omega in the ring while with the hammer, but but Ray but Ray Phoenix stops him. Penta pushes him away, but Ray Phoenix grabs the hammer, and Kenny Omega takes out Ray Phoenix with a V trigger. Snapdragon by Kenny Omega onto Penta after dual super kicks by the Young Bucks. Kenny Omega with a powerbomb slash V trigger combo, but Pac breaks up the 2 count. Penta takes out the Elite, and they accidentally kick Kenny Omega. Lucha Bros take out the Young Bucks, and they set Kenny Omega up. Ray Phoenix and Pac take out the Young Bucks, and Penta with the Fear Factor off Kenny Omega. 1-2 no. Pac tag in as Nick Jackson pulls Kenny Omega out and kicks Pac. Both teams exchange super kicks. Matt Jackson with a Northern Lights and double ups the Lucha Bros. Pac wipes out Matt Jackson and boots Kenny Omega in the corner. He sets him up top, but Kenny Omega fights out, and Pac just headbutts Kenny Omega hard with the face mask. Pac hits a sleeper Falcon hits a super Falcon arrow on Kenny Omega. 1-2 no. Kenny Omega kicks out as we go to commercial. Back from the break again. Back from commercial again as Pac gets nailed with a V trigger and then gets turned inside out with a lariat. Ray Phoenix, Ray Phoenix and Nick Jackson both in now as they exchange reversals, and Nick Jackson hits 2 super kicks into a Kaza, Cazadora face buster for 2. Both Young Bucks and they catches Ray Finish, but he whips Matt Jackson to Nick Jackson and the bump heads. They able to still get the advantages and hit bang for your buck. 1-2 no. Penta saves it. BTE trigger loaded up, but Pac and Penta take them out. Kenny Omega fights off Penta and Pac avoid a dragon suplex, and Ray Phoenix hits a sick cutter on Kenny Omega. Assisted Fear Factor by Penta, and Ray Phoenix takes out Kenny Omega and Nick Jackson. Penta takes out Kenny Omega and Pac with a stomp on Matt Jackson for 2. Sheer drop brainbuster by Pac to Matt Jackson. 1-2 no. Pac stares at Matt Jackson, heads up top, and as Ray Phoenix holding Kenny Omega's back. Pac Pac tries for a Black Arrow, and Matt Jackson gets the knees up. Quick roll up by Matt Jackson. 1-2-3. Kenny Omega was able to stop Ray Phoenix just in time. The winner of the match, the Elite. Death Triangle leads 2/1. Okay. Post match, we see highlights of the match leading to the finish, and the Elite celebrates with their group. Kenny Omega has a mic and says, "We're bringing this back." Without further ADIEU, I wish you and good night and good luck. Love you. Now play that song again. The Elite's music hits and they celebrate, arm raised as the show goes off the air. All right, now I just want to say that AEW Dynamite was a very good show, and that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my AEW Dynamite review on highlights, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below on what are your thoughts on AEW Dynamite, because it was a good show. But anyway, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please hit that subscribe button. Turn on post notifications so you will not miss out a single premiere stream at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, or I go live on YouTube. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. Like I told you earlier, MJF is going to hold the AEW World Championship until 2024, and that's nothing but facts. But MJF is good at a segment, so every time MJF do a segment, I just stop and listen. That's all I got to say from here. But anyway, this your boy Bigboyfactsjonny TV. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang.